right. We'll start in a seated posture, or you can recline onto your back in that Shavasana, whatever would suit your body. So if you feel like you need this elevation, this lift through the hips, please get that block or that book and slide it under your seat. So my name is Shar'ron. This is Kim. We're gonna flow you through a little practice today, and we'll just start by allowing the eyes to rest shut. Beginning to shift the mind, the body, from this gross sensory input into the subtle body. So we'll feel this breath where it enters the body. And paying attention to when the breath exits the body. Beginning to expand from navel to heart. And emptying from heart to navel. And there's really this rooting down and this rising through the crown of the head, finding this tall spine and an open heart here. So we're going to combine two of my favorite things today, Jesus and yoga. And I thought that a scripture would be appropriate. So Psalms 40:1-3 says, I waited patiently for the Lord. He turned to me and he heard my cry. He lifted me up out of the slimy pit, out of the mud and the mire. He set my feet on a rock and gave me a firm place to stand. And he put a new song in my mouth, a hymn of praise to our God. Many will see and fear the Lord and put their trust in him. So one of the things I've been reflecting on within this scripture, right, it's like, how does this apply to my life, is we have this opportunity to be reminded to live and express that love that's in our heart. Living out of love instead of living out of fear. Not living from this place of satisfying our own concerns and fear. And the blessing it is to be able to live with a purpose. So taking a deep breath in and an audible exhale out. Good. We'll gently remove the block and we'll take that stop to start by lying in corpse pose, all the way down on our mats, allowing the palms to rest at the sides of your body. And so I want the people in my life to know that I care and that they matter to me. And so as long as we are breathing, this is our purpose, to share this light and this love. Other people have shown us love and kindness and have taught us the value of being loved. And so may we love well during these times, making a difference in the lives around us. And that leads us to practice, which is the willingness to align and realign the attention to the present moment. And we do so repeatedly. So maybe you have a practice of worship, of song, of reading God's word, a practice of prayer and fellowship, even online. And so we honor source, where things came from. I believe we can't keep what we have without giving it away, this paradox. So this is our way for Kim and myself to say thank you to those people who have loved us into loving, who have sung us into singing, beginning to wiggle the fingers and the toes, And when it feels appropriate for you, beginning to reach the arms along as the soles of the feet press towards the front of your mat, like a yawn to the body. Gently hugging the knees in towards the heart, the chest, and maybe you take a circle or hold steady and still. Today, we're going to do some desk therapy, working the chest, the upper back, the ankles, the quads. Many of us are really sitting down more. Some of us are working from home. So slowly taking right or left side body, pausing in a fetal shape before we come back up towards center. Feel that rounding of the back, the places where the body meets the earth, and even the air swirling around your body. Taking the right or left palm, depending on that side, and slowly press yourself up towards seated posture. We'll cross the ankles and we'll come onto all fours, really spreading through the palms, allowing the wrists to be in line under the shoulders, knees under your hips. And we'll start here by just taking whatever movement your spine is asking for. Really enjoying the bones, the muscles, and this breath. If you've taken a clockwise rotation or a circle in the hips, maybe reverse that flow. And then in your own time, begin to walk the palms forward towards the top of your mat. Begin to tuck the toes and push up and back to a downward facing dog. Adho Mukha Svanasana. Really working through the spine. We see Kin here shifting the weight, maybe bending one knee, bending the other. And find pleasure right here in this pose. Now we're going to light up the posterior chain, the area of the body from the heels all the way up. Good, by elevating the toes up off the earth. And then on the exhale, press the heels down. Take this 9 more times on your own. Inhaling up and exhaling down. Continuing the flow with your breath in your practice as you cue yourself and guide yourself through. Seeing how total you can be. And if you've lost count, don't worry. Just finding that motion, that rhythm and movement. Once you're finished with those rounds, I'd like for you to consider really melting the chest back towards the thighs. See if the biceps can align alongside of those ears. Good. Now begin to round forward towards plank. Good. And begin to roll up and back to downward facing dog. Taking this action 4 more times, like we did earlier this week, this wave rushing through the spine. Beautiful breath. Building strength and stability here. down dog is not an option for you, maybe you take all fours and continue with those cat-cows. Good. Now, once we're finished with those rounds, we'll begin to roll forward back to that plank pose, building a little bit of heat in the body here. And we'll soften the knees down towards the earth. Good. Hovering here, beautiful alignment. Inhale to fill. Exhale, pull back up. Take that 5 more times. On the exhale, soften the knees. And on the inhale, draw up. Good. And once you've finished that last round, we're going to allow the knees to come wide, and we'll take Balasana Child's Pose. Maybe the palms flip up towards the sky. Notice if the wrists are tender, if there's any dumping in the wrists. And maybe you wiggle the fingers. Maybe you make a fist and release. Option to allow the forehead to sway from side to side, massaging the cranium here. With every exercise, we have this rhythm of tension and rest. So this is this beautiful moment of rest to really feel, have this downhill to recollect thoughts. And maybe you'd like to set an intention of prayer for your practice as you rest right here. Maybe you consider or think about someone who has loved you well. And maybe they're alive, or maybe they're gone and past in this physical form. The idea that we can't keep what we have without giving it away. So who has loved you well? And saying thank you. Taught you how to love yourself so you can love others. Take a deep breath in. Audible, exhale out. Good. Begin to round back up. Good. To all fours. And then tucking the toes, push up and back, downward facing up. Now inhale, that right leg sweeps up and back. Good. And we keep the hips square. We keep the shoulders square as well. So often there's a tendency for this right shoulder to lift. Kim has this beautiful alignment. She's going to show you misalignment. So maybe feel misalignment in your body and then direct it back. Beautiful. So the big toes face the earth, heel faces the sky. So there's a wall here that you're pressing into. Inhale to fill. Exhale, draw that knee in towards the nose. Good. Now hold here for 3, 2, silently step that right foot forward. Good. Lower that left knee, Anjaneyasana. Good. And maybe you sweep the arms up. Now if your knee bothers you, maybe you have a blanket, you can pad or roll the mat. And maybe the gaze comes up. If the shoulders are tight, maybe the palms rest at the hips. Different variations here, different bodies. Now there's this option to stay right here, or there's this option to take eagle arms, allowing the right arm to come under the left. Good. If that's not suitable for the shoulders, maybe you just keep the palms hugging the body in here. Again, different variations. Now really consider this right foot spreading in and through. And begin to come high onto the left toes, coming into this lunge. And silently, yes, you got it, begin to shift forward to Virabhadrasana 3. Eagle arms. Good, beautiful, Kim. A micro bend in the right knee. And we'll hold here, taking a deep breath in. And on the exhale, release the arms. Yes. Now we're going to draw that left knee in towards the nose. Take a breath in. And on the exhale, hug it into the nose. Good. Extend it back out, warrior 3. 2 more times on your own. Inhale, in. Exhale, find length. Inhale, curl in. Exhale, find length. Beautiful. Holding warrior 3 right here. And then step forward and fold. Good. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Let's take a ragdoll here. So tiptoe the feet out wide towards the long edges of the mat. And maybe you sway the hips. Again, coming back to this rhythm of tension and rest, allowing this to be a rested pose. Always anchoring down to the 4 corners of the feet. I like to imagine that there's these imaginary X's, a big toe to the outer edge of the heel, inner heel to the pinky toe. If that doesn't work for a visual for your mind, then imagine a triangle. The base of the triangle is at the toes working towards the heel. Good, releasing the arms, inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Good. Now begin to tiptoe the feet back together. Taking your time, maybe hips distance, maybe wider. We'll graze the earth with the fingertips and we'll take chair pose, Utkatasana. Now the palms can be at heart center. The palms can reach towards the front of the room, or maybe the palms are at hip. The hips of the right and left. And we soften the weight in towards the heels, the scissoring of the thighs. Now gaze down at the toes, make sure you can see the toenails. Good. And draw the gaze back up. Now begin to press forward onto the tiptoes. Heels come high. Exhale, heels drop. Inhale up. Exhale, drop. Inhale up. Exhale, drop. Begin to forward fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Now, option to bend the knees here, coming high onto the toes, coming into broken toe. You can take this toe squat as we work the heels up. Allow the hips to come down to the heels. Now begin to draw the knees together. Palms come in towards heart center, or maybe you tent the palms or use those Boxer blocks. Take a deep breath in. On the exhale, soften the knees. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, soften the knees. Inhale the knees up. Exhale, soften down. Good. Inhale back up. Swan dive forward and fold. Beautiful. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Stepping out to downward facing dog. Maybe you step the right or left leg back. Again, finding this rhythm of rest and tension. Return to that neurological flossing. Maybe you pulse the toes high and the heels down. 1 or 2 times, really feeling the backs of the legs. Good. Now we're gonna take second side. So soften the heels back down, really root through both feet. Feeling that navel pull up and in. We're gonna inhale that left leg up and back. Good. a clean line of energy right here on that second side. We talked about the misalignment, so this is perfect alignment. Having the shoulders even, the hips square, this big toe facing the earth, heel facing the sky, as though it's pressing into a wall. Inhale, energy shooting out the left leg. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Inhale, up and back. Exhale, knee to nose and hold right here. Really draw in, protracting through the shoulders. Beautiful. Silently step that left foot forward. Good. Coming into this low lunge, then begin to drop the right knee down. Anjaneyasana, sweeping the arms up. Or we talked about the palms staying right here at hip or even heart center. Whatever feels great for the shoulders. Now, I want to talk about this knee for a moment in traction over this ankle. This is our traditional Anjaneyasana. Sometimes the knee will go over the ankle. For today's nature, we're going to keep the knee stacked over in this clean line. Yes. Hips even square here. So maybe you stay right here, or maybe you take the arm variation of your choice. We're going to take eagle, second side. Good, allowing that left arm to come under the right. And I'd like for you to really draw up, having the elbows in line with the chin. Good. Maybe the gaze comes up. So we still have a slight protraction here, a clean line down of energy, and even forward with that knee. Now get light on the right toes. Good. Come into that low lunge, and in your own time, delicately step into Virabhadrasana 3, Warrior 3, allowing that right leg to come up and press into that wall. Beautiful, Kim. Having a micro bend on that left side of your left knee. Now begin to extend the arms out, airplane arms, get wide. Feel this movement through the chest. Good. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, knee to nose. Up and back. Knee to nose. Up and back. Exhale, knee to nose. Good. And then come back to Warrior 3. Extending that leg out. Good. And then step forward and fold. Inhale, flat back. Exhale, fold. Root to rise, raise the earth, reach the arms up. Maybe a back bend here. Maybe you even cactus the arms as you open through the heart of the chest. Inhale to fill. Exhale, palms come back to heart center, Tadasana pose. Returning to your prayer, your intention, this opportunity we have. Trusting in the Lord through this process right now. He is really good at finishing things. And then allowing the palms to rest at the sides of your hips. Supination in the palms so they spin forward, eyes of the elbows even spin forward here. Make a connection to the imaginary X's in the feet as the crown of the head draws up, posterior tuck of the tailbone. Navel pulling up and in. Now, this is a very active pose by nature, even though it feels like a resting pose throughout the practice. Now begin to bring the palms back to heart center, and we're going to drop the hips coming back into chair pose. Good. Now if you have knee issues, continue to really draw in through the knees. This is actually a stabilizing pose. Its intention is to really help with strengthening the knees as they come up and in. So allow the toes to come off the earth, weight in the heels, really check your body there. Good, now drop the toes, bring the heels high. Holding here, on the exhale, soften the heels. Inhale, come back up to the tiptoes. Exhale, soften. Inhale up. Exhale, soften. Swan back forward and fold. Good, long hold. We'll come back to dangle pose or ragdoll. So walking the feet out, maybe as wide as the long edges of the mat. Taking a little downhill here. Good, then tiptoe the feet back together. Hips distance, maybe closer, maybe wider, your choice. Feeling the length in the back of the right and left leg, feeling that head waterfall, torso waterfall over the legs. Good, now come high onto the toes right here, heels come up, yes. See if you can drop the hips down towards the heels, taking this broken toe or this toe squat. Good. Now palms can return to heart center, palms can return to the hips, or if you'd like a greater challenge, reach them up towards the sky, beginning to rotate the pinkies up and in. Imagine there's a block between the thighs, take a breath in. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, drive up. Good, Kim. Exhale, soften down. Last time, inhale up. Exhale down. Good. Bringing the palms beside the knees, begin to stretch out through the soles of the feet. Come back to this ragdoll variation or this forward fold. Maybe there's a bend in one knee or the other. Breathing right here. Again, this rhythm of tension and rest. Now you choose stepping back towards plank pose. It can be right or left leg, maybe switching to the opposite side you did last time. We'll step into a high plank this time. Good. And again, protracting. So imagine that I'm in the room and I'm pressing my finger to chest, looking for this kyphosis and this lordosis in the spine. It just means these extreme curvatures here. Crown of the head draws up. The heels press back. The thighs scissor in towards one another, working their way up and towards the outer edges of the room. We'll take a deep breath here. Exhale, lower all the way to the earth. Good. We'll come into Sphinx pose. So align the elbows under the shoulders. And we'll stack the bones here. Consider softening the glutes as you press down through the pinky toes. So there's a slight lift through the legs. Draw the chin in towards the heart. Find length to the cervical spine. Good. Now soften through the legs. Come into a more yin approach. See if the legs can melt into the mat. Begin to gaze back towards that left foot, the left heel, or the left side of the mat. And the opening out through right side body. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Really pause, feeling the ripples. And in your own time, begin to gaze back towards the right foot, heel, or edge of the mat. Big breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Good. Bring the right and left palms, stack them on one another as the forehead makes its way down to the earth. Shimmy the hips from side to side, again, returning to that rhythm of tension and rest. It's one of the reasons I love yoga so much. There's this paradox here. We have to root to rise. We have to find effort to hold ease. Now we're going to cactus the arms out towards the sides of the mat. Good. We're going to come into gecko pose. So bring the left ear to the earth. Good. And really draw that right knee up towards the elbow. Yes. Feeling this space and this opening through the inner thigh on this right side. And it's as though we're leaning in to hear a whisper. Taking a deep breath in. And on the exhale, find length, pushing that right leg back, switch to the right ear. Good. Inhale, left knee up towards that elbow. Taking this gecko variation, second side. Big breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Good. Place the palms a little wider. We're going to spider walk them out. Yes. And we're going to come up into Cobra Pose, Bhujangasana. So inhale up. Yes. Now look back towards the left foot. Good. Take a breath right there. Exhale, float it back down. Inhale, draw back up towards center. Gaze back at the right foot. Good. And on the exhale, come back to center, descend all the way down. Extend the arms all the way forward. If that's not comfortable for the shoulders, then allow them to grasp the sides of your hip. Maybe you sway the forehead here. Maybe you shimmy the hips from side to side. Notice where you're holding any tension in the spine. Now bring the palms back in towards the chest. We're going to come back up to a Sphinx pose again, aligning the elbows under the shoulders. Now maybe you'd like to stay right here, or maybe you want to turn the right forearm in. Good. Really stabilizing through this right shoulder. An option here to reach that left palm to the left foot, drawing, yes, that heel in towards the seat. Continue to breathe, that filling from navel to heart. Big breath in. Exhale, come back to center. Good. Switch sides, bringing that left forearm, rooting down. Make sure you anchor into the elbow as you grab that right foot, that right palm. Lighting up through the thighs, quads here. Taking a deep inhale, audible exhale, gentle release. Good. Palms frame the chest, push up and back to all fours. Brace your bended knees. Good. Now take two cat-cows here, and then we're going to take Anatasana, mounting heart. So inhale, heart forward. Exhale, round, chin in towards chest. Inhale, heart forward. Exhale, beginning to walk the palms forward. Kim has beautiful alignment here. We want to have the knees stacked in line with the hips. So maybe there's an opportunity to use your block here to the forehead. For many of us, we'll have a greater range of motion, so we'll draw the forehead down. Maybe you tuck the chin in towards the chest, or maybe you press the chin into the mat. If you have any cervical spine damage within the neck, please just keep the forehead to the earth. Again, you can sway from side to side, moving and massaging the cranium, or you can hold steady and still in this resolve. Again, reminding our mind and our heart of that scripture that we waited patiently for the Lord. He turned heard our cry. You put a new song in our mouths, a song of praise. That really is our weapon within this time. Option to take a prayer position with palms behind the nape of the neck. We'll hold here for another round of breath. Take a deep inhale and an audible exhale. Good. Gently begin to dissolve. Now we'll take this option of Vajrasana, so pushing up and away. And for those of you who have a block, placing the block between the ankles and resting in and down on the hips. If that is not suitable for your body, then just take easy pose by sitting in that cross-legged position. We're going to take the palms and we're going to create a fist. And then we're going to extend the fingers, taking this rhythm of clenching and releasing, begin to reach the arms up and overhead, starting to light up through the forearms, starting to ease tension out of the right and left wrist. And then slowly bringing the palms back down, taking your time. I know the forearms are feeling much sensation here. The tighter clench, the brighter the release, the more active. Good. Bringing the palms flat on top of the thighs. Really feel breath. Audible exhale. Good. Now we're going to come back into broken toe, so allowing the toes to come under. Maybe move that block, or maybe just rise on up. We want to feel this spreading and this opening through the posterior chain. So it's nice to even manually move the toes, especially that pinky toe. Good. And if this is not suitable for you, then you can draw the hips up as though you're pressing into a wall. Yes, creating this space. If you have a bolster at home, it's nice to place the bolster on the backs of the calves and the ankles. But taking this to your degree, we feel, again, sensation, and a lot of it through the soles of the feet. Take some moon rolls with the head, rolling the head, the breath, maybe taking time, or maybe even take a few shoulder rolls. Not forgetting to breathe deeply, helping with that experience of sensation and tension. Take a deep inhale. Exhale, release back to all fours. Tap out the feet, making the sound of rain. Good. Now push back up to downward facing dog. Feeling that long extension of the spine. Inhale to fill. Exhale, ripple forward towards plank pose. Last plank of the practice. So give it your all. Really protract through the shoulders. Good. Crown of the head long. Heels pressing back. Good. And then lower in your own time all the way down to the earth. Good. Now we're going to do some shoulder work here, known as broken wing. So Kim's going to start with the left palm, and she's going to reach that left arm out. Yes. Now with this right arm, we can extend it back if the shoulder's hurting, or you can just rest it beside the body. Good. Whatever feels supported for you. So really wiggle the left fingertips. Yes, getting this neurological stimulation. Now we're going to draw the knees in towards the chest and roll onto left side body. So be careful and mindful, because you're gonna feel a stretch within this left shoulder. Good. Now, option here for the block to come underneath of the head. If that's too much of a lift for the spine, then option to keep the head hovering. What we wanna do is we wanna work on drawing this right shoulder over the left. That will create more sensation into the left shoulder. Now, I don't know about you, but I have a lot of scar tissue in my right shoulder, and I've had injuries. So please have ease as you take this. Really be the C student, not trying too hard. We'll take a full inhale to fill. Audible exhale up. Good. Now Kim's gonna soften 30 degrees down towards her hip. Good. And then she's gonna drive that right shoulder back over the left to her degree for her body. Now you can take this right palm and you can weave it down behind the low back, or you can just rest it and tent it off the right edge of the mat, whatever feels supported for your body. Take another deep breath in, and then audible exhale out. Good. Now she's gonna lift the palms 60 degrees up towards the top of the mat, as much as she can go with her shoulder. So for some of us, it's gonna be 11 o'clock, 10 o'clock. For others, it might stay more that 9 o'clock. And we continue to breathe, maybe wiggle the fingers again of that left palm. Good. Take an inhale to fill. Exhale, come back to center prone on your belly. Bringing both palms beside the hips. Good. Take an inhale to fill. Audible exhale out. Good. Now we're going to recline onto our back. Get there however you want. Maybe you push the body up. Maybe you just roll over. Good. And we're going to extend the legs long. So when we work that left side, we're going to take what I like to call half snow angel. So with that palm staying flat to the earth, we're going to begin to inhale the palm up. Good. Maybe you flip the palms, it reaches. Good. And see how Kim's maintaining this contact with the earth? That's beautiful. So let's keep the palm up and let's exhale it all the way down. Imagine that you're making an imprint in snow or the sand. And we'll do this 3 times. So that was a round 1. Inhale back up. Flipping the palm when it's your degree here. Good. And exhale, palm remains up, bring it back down. Making that imprint. Last side, inhale up. It's going to be hard, but we want to remain rooted like Kim is with this left arm as much as it can press into the earth. For many of us, we're going to feel that scar tissue in the body. Working through the areas of wound, breath. Good, Kim. So now we're going to roll onto the right side, bringing the chin, the knees in towards the chest. Good. Now we're going to take what I like to call chalk drawings, still with this left palm. Good. So begin to draw this arm up. Inhale, begin to line the body as much as you can, rotating the arm. Good. Taking 3 rounds like that on your own. Really lubricating and getting that synovial fluid into that left shoulder. Once that 3rd round is complete, we'll recline onto our backs, allowing the soles of the feet to be flat, knees directed towards the sky. Beautiful. Now we'll get to that 2nd side, but we're going to really feel the echoes, the ripples of sensation here. We're actually going to take the right ankle to the left knee and create a figure 4, really drawing that right knee towards the top of the mat. Maybe you'd like to reach the arms between the legs and grab the back of that left thigh. Or maybe you take circles, or maybe you hold steady and still. All the while, flexion slightly in both feet as that right knee draws forward. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, soften that left foot down. Releasing the clasp. Good. Now, option for this block to come underneath of the hips here, if you have one. Finding your, yeah. And imagine that the hips are melting down the sides of the block. Taking a deep breath in. Audible exhale out. Gently release that right foot. Good. And begin to extend the legs long, taking reset with the block here. Yeah, so they can go forward towards the top of the mat, or they can draw up towards the sky. Whatever would feel good for your low back. A deep breath in. Audible exhale out. Gently allow the feet to return to the earth. Good. Remove the block and take windshield wipers from side to side. Now, option to grab the backs of the thighs and to roll, rock along the spine. Option to lean over to right or left side body, making your way up however you need. We'll return back on the belly, prone. And this time we'll take second side. So we're going to extend that right arm out. Good. And this time it'll be at about 3 o'clock. So it's a 90-degree angle here. You see that Kim is tenting or having that palm flat. That is wonderful. That provides more support. So taking a deep inhale to fill. Exhale, begin to draw the knees as you shift onto right side body. Good. Getting this stretch into the right shoulder. Now we have this option here for this block again, if that's suitable for your spine, or maybe the head hovers. Begin to draw that left shoulder over the right as much as you'd like. And we breathe, taking this broken wing here on the second side. Beginning to wiggle the fingers on that right side, yeah. Softening through the neurological system and the body here. Good. Take another full round of breath. Audible exhale out. Good. Now we're going to lower that arm 30 degrees towards the hip. Yes. And then drawing that left shoulder over the right. Maybe you bring that left palm resting the low back. Maybe you keep it tented in front of the body. Now there's a lot of sensation for many of us, again, in this broken wing. So breathe. Try and maintain ease in the mind as you press through this effort in your body. A big breath in. Exhale out. Good. Now we're going to bring the arms 60 degrees up towards the top of the mat. For some of us, it's going to be at 1 o'clock. For others at 2, or maybe more towards that 3. And then drawing that left elbow back towards center and over the right shoulder. Take an inhale to fill. Audible exhale out. Take your time to come back towards center, rolling all the way down the belly. And palms rest beside the hips. And really feel the ripples, the echoes of sensation. Now on your own, making your way onto your back. Maybe you push up, maybe you roll over. Now we're going to take this half snow angel on the second side. So we reach that right arm out, and we start it at the hip. Begin to inhale all the way up. And then when you need to, flipping the palm up towards the sky. Good, reaching up and overhead. And exhale, palm remains up, making that imprint in sand, snow. Doing that 2 more times. We want to remain that arm pressing as much into the earth like Kim's doing. Now, there will be a hovering back, shoulder, bicep. And maybe this is the tender side of the body. So many of us have the side that we really coddle, we give more attention to, or maybe that has sustained more injury. And so we take that inventory, we take note. Once you've finished, we'll take that chalk drawing by reclining onto the left side body, drawing the knees in towards the heart of the chest. And we begin to trace the body as though we have chalk between the fingers. Taking this 3 times. Good, and going to go up and around. Creating those large circles, 360 degrees. Really lubricating the synovial fluid, dispersing with a safe stress. And once you've finished that last round, we'll roll onto our backs. Good. We're going to switch sides, taking this figure 4. So allowing the left ankle to come to the right knee and really draw that left knee towards the top of the mat. Maybe this is enough for you and you stay right here. Maybe you bring the leg or the palms between the legs, grabbing for that right thigh. For some of us, we need to have a little bit of movement to massage the sacrum. For others, it's a little more pleasurable to hold steady and still. Reminded of that paradox that we can't keep what we have without giving it away. So we say thank you to the people who have loved us, to learning how to love ourselves. We put our trust in God, having a new song in our mouths of praise, honoring the source where all things come from. Taking a deep breath in. And on the exhale, soften that right foot back to the earth and just like this while under the hips. You have them. Good. We'll hold here for a few rounds of breath, just feeling that safe compression to the low back. So practice is the willingness to align and realign the intention to the present moment. So we repeatedly realign. We practice worship, reading God's word, praising God. We practice prayer and fellowship, which right now is online. What a great advantage to have. To live is this opportunity to express the love we have in our hearts, to live with purpose. So as long as you're breathing, we live our purpose, regardless of circumstance. The aim for many of us is we want the people in our lives to know that we care and that Right now, stress is high. How can we live with a purpose? Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, gently release that ankle. Good. And if you like, you can take a reset by extending the legs up towards the sky. Or maybe you'd like to keep that compression in the low back. You can extend the legs long towards the front of the mat. Whatever would feel good for you. So Kim and I both believe that we are women who have the blessing to live on purpose. Not just satisfying our own concerns and fears, but living out of love instead of living out of fear. Which means we have to show up for this physical practice. Taking a deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Good. Now remove that block and really hug the knees in towards the heart of the chest. Taking some circles here. Massaging the low back. You take windshield wipers, or maybe you even take a happy baby. What would feel good in this spine, this practice, this day, this moment? There's an invitation to slow down here. Finding this quiet space, the three constants: stillness, silence, and space. As we practice Purusa, that which watches, pure awareness here. We can still feel, and smell, and taste, and listen, and see. So do we have the willingness to align and realign? Discipline is continual. It's an everyday process. So live with purpose. Be disciplined to worship, read scripture, to praise God. Taking your time to find your way to your Shavasana. As we rest here in Shavasana, I'll tell a story about a woman named Fanny Crosby. She was born in 1820. And 6 weeks after being born, she became ill. Her loving parents called for a doctor, and he was out of town. So they were seeking for help. And someone gave them a recommendation of another practitioner who prescribed her these mustard pouches to be applied to her eyes every 4 hours. And as luck would have it, the practitioner turned out to be pretending to be a certified doctor, in turn making Fanny blind. Later that year, her father died, and her mother was left a widow to work and to take care of the family, leaving Fanny to be raised by her grandmother. And at the age of 8 years old, Fanny began writing poetry. And much of her poetry and writings echoed her lifelong refusal to feel sorry for herself. She began writing music, songs, hymns. She was the most prolific hymn writer in all of history and still is to this day. And I'm inspired by her devotion, her surrender of her circumstances, this acceptance, adversity over obstacle, struggle, her posture, the state of her heart, and the ability to draw in closer. And when people would ask Fanny about being blind, she would often say that she was blessed to be blind. Because not allowing her to see was this removal of distraction of her own self and of others. The story is so magical in many ways because it symbolizes overcoming of defeat. Prevailing, light, winning in the end. So with faith and acceptance, we rest right here. We still sing many of her songs. One of them is Good, Good Father, though she doesn't get the credit. I'm sure there are a myriad of people who have been influencers for us, who chose to live with purpose, with practice, who chose to worship and pray, praise in the midst of struggle. So fill these lungs with your breath. Recognize your body alive here, this body that God's given you. Each and every cell working together without your ability to make them work or not. This one beating heart. Beginning to wiggle the fingers, the toes, reawaken the body to the senses, feel, smell, taste, touch. Allowing the arms to come up and overhead as the soles of the feet root long again, like a yawn to the body. And in your own time, drawing the knees one last time towards the heart, chest. Maybe you make your way to right or left side body, pausing here. Feeling the echoes, practice, shape, changed or shifted. Whether it's the right or left palm, depending on the size, spread that palm into the earth, make contact really here as you feel the floor beneath you. Drawing the head and chest up towards center. We'll return to Sukhasana, easy pose. Maybe if you have the block, elevate the hips above the knees, if you'd like. We can close with a prayer, a common prayer used within the yoga practice. So maybe the palms flow up to heart center. May you live with purpose. May you share love, and may you know that you can't have what you do without giving it away. So truly, our prayer is that all beings remain safe. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free. May we awaken again, returning back to the source. Giving God the glory, the credit. So setting an intention for your day. Maybe a new prayer, maybe a song. Take a breath in and a breath out. A full inhale. Even longer exhale. Taking your longest, deepest breath, fill all the way up. Sip in more air. Audible exhale out. Thumbs can float up to forehead, making a seal, a sacred bow. A breath in and a breath out. Thank you for sharing your practice this time. And I hope that you can carry out throughout the rest of your day, offering something to someone else. Namaste.